right, baby. It's direct from the beautiful Inland Blue Studios. Honey, this is the Nerdlife Crisis podcast with your host, that fine-ass Chris Thayer, that beautiful Steve Hale, and that big hunker chunk of meat, Ron Milts. Woo! Mama's hot up in here. Let's get this party started.
All right, everybody, and welcome back to the Nerdlife Crisis podcast. Here with your host today,
Chris Thayer,
Steve Hale,
and I'm Ron Milts. Guess what, guys?
We're doing a thing. It's called. I looked it up on the internet. It's called a podcast. And it's very new to me. Well, okay, maybe it's been 6 months, but very excited to hear back from you guys.
My favorite part of the 6-month layoff is how on the last episode we were like, you know, guys, we're going to make an effort to podcast more.
Oh, Jesus, we did, didn't we?
That was a kiss of death right there.
Geez. You might as well just talk about how I'm like 3 days from retirement at that point, you know? So,
I mean, since then I've had a grandchild.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm a grandpa now. That's how old I got.
Holy shit. We may have to retitle this podcast.
I'm a grandfather.
Well, Chris's beard has gotten wider.
Yeah, it's definitely. My name is no longer Chris. It's Captain Bookshelves.
That's because Chris. Yeah. So Steve is a grandfather. Chris bought a house.
Yeah,
got rid of the old house.
Yeah,
so
cool.
the new,
I feel like George Jefferson, man. I'm moving on up, baby.
I know, and I know your neighbors hate you because you're over there prepping for Black History Month.
Oh, dude, and it's it's me, and then they hate the dogs because the dogs bark at any possible thing because we've got wrought iron fences, and they can see everything.
Do they have that moment where they're like, "Who let those dogs out?"
And the who?
Yeah.
Who?
No.
No. Oh shit, that is showing our age right there.
We are not recording in the Blue Studios tonight. We're recording in the brand new California room.
I love it. It's beautiful.
Spacious.
The spacious California room, which is where we will be doing a good portion of our recording.
Very comfortable chairs.
Well, and here's the nice thing: now that Chris has the new studio with actual air conditioning in it, we can actually go and record there as well. So,
yeah, and it's so like
I'm excited.
All the perks and state of the art and like it's dope.
It's a bit posh.
Super dope.
It's a bit posh. When I went in there, except for the water heater, like, did you get that covered up?
No,
yet?
we're working on that. I've got that. I've got to create a laundry room inside the studio.
Right.
So it's all walled off and
the rest. It's just funny because you walk in and it's like all this nice, and then you look and you're like, who the fuck put a washer and a dryer and a water heater?
You know what
in
it
here?
is? It's you hear that record scratch sound effect. Like what the? Yeah, that's what happens.
So yeah. So grandfather, huh?
Yep, grandpa. Yep, first grandchild is here. Lydia Sinsentaffer. Sorry, I had to think about my daughter's new last name there.
Sinsentaffer?
Sinsentaffer. Yeah, Sid's name is Sydney Sinsentaffer.
Is she like...
That's like a Bond villain.
I was going to say she's out of a Willy Wonka book.
It's like Julia. It's very funny.
The third Willy Wonka book where the new group of kids...
she was 9 pounds 6 ounces.
Oh, my God.
All weekend. They had to induce labor. She was even late getting here. Yeah, man, this is what happens when you watch too much TV. I thought we were going to walk in there Thursday night, and by Friday morning, I was going to be a fucking grandpa. This lasted all weekend long, dude. I slept in chairs because I wasn't going anywhere. I was like, I'm here. The first grandbaby. It's a big deal to me. Holy fucking shit. I'm sleeping on the floor of a hospital. Like, I didn't even care. What's on the floor? Doesn't matter. I don't even care. I'm just going to give me a shot. Whatever. I'll be good to go.
I recall when the boy was born, I went to work and did a gig because it was like 3 miles from the hospital. And I'm like, I've got a phone. If anything happens, just call me and I'll be here. And as long as it would take me to walk down the hallway.
Well, of course, on Sunday when I finally decided we're going to go home and get some rest real quick, because during this whole thing, we ended up continuing having a kids' Halloween party at our house on Saturday night, which ended 10 minutes after it had started. With one of my boys getting his eyebrows split open and had to get it glued back together in urgent care. So that was, there was that. And then I was still at the hospital when that happened. And then Sunday I say, okay, we're going to take my son-in-law for some lunch and tell you what, if anything changes, man, I'll come right back. I'll be back here in 10 minutes, right? We're going home, man. I'm halfway home. I get a fucking text. We're doing a C-section right now. I said, fuck, man, I'll be there in 5. I damn near flipped the bitch on the freeway. All right. Got there, ran upstairs, had enough time to give her a kiss on the head, and they were wheeling her ass out. She was like, "You're not leaving. You're not taking me until my dad gets back here." Like, got in there, gave her a kiss on the head, and they wheeled her ass out. 15 minutes later, had my grandbaby.
Yeah, I'm kind of like at this point with the C-section, like we were 24 hours and then the C-section. And I'm like, well, we could have done this in hour 1 and just been done with this real quick.
See, we were there.
Yeah, everybody was like, why the hell did they take all weekend? I mean, that baby wasn't coming out.
Right.
Naturally. There was no way. And I was like, I don't know, man.
Well, congrats.
Thank you.
Well, the nice thing about the cesarean is your kid doesn't come out looking like Beldar.
And you could also say, hey, listen, you can't go like, hey, I remember when your face rubbed against your mom's vagina. You know what I mean?
Here's the worst part is my son got the worst of both worlds because he was in the birth canal, but she wouldn't dilate enough to like come out. So he came out with the fucking alien head and she got a scar. So, and I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
But really, it's just
you
about...
didn't sleep for like weeks,
It's just
right?
about me. Like, let's be real, right? You know, it's like these damn women, like they're inconveniencing me.
I gotta tell you, when like Jennifer was in labor for 3 days, we didn't even know it.
Ooh.
And they sent her in, and then they kept her overnight. And the next day, the doctor's like, I'm not saying we're having this baby today. I'm not saying we're having this baby tomorrow, but this baby's coming. I said, well, can I go get some lunch? And they're like, yeah.
I'm noticing a theme, by the way.
So I'm hungry. Okay?
You know?
So I go get some pizza, and they text, you got to come back. We're gonna have this baby. Well, I just got the pizza, man.
You're all my breadsticks haven't even come yet.
Can I bring it with?
Quick, and then I get back and they say, we're taking her in right now. So right now? I said, oh, I thought you guys were joking. I had a window, maybe an hour or so.
I know hospital speak. That means like an hour and a half.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic.
So that's that's why I'm glad I didn't get into the medical field. Right? You fuck.
Yeah, for me it was we went to the hospital on a Wednesday for a checkup, and she was still working, and the doctor was like, "No, absolutely not. Like this baby's due in less than 10 days. How are you still at work? You know, you know." And he's like, "You need to come back tomorrow again so I can check on your vitals." So we came back the next day after she called off work, and at 7:50 in the morning, he was like, "Yeah, we're having this baby right now." And I'm like, "Man, I had movie tickets. I don't."
Well, I mean,
am I able to make it back to the theater in time?
I mean, you know,
I'm not talking shit here, but it's true when I say that my wife, she will not survive the zombie apocalypse. She just doesn't have it in her. So I knew as soon as she got pregnant, I mean, from day one, this is going to be a long 9 months. And it was.
yeah.
So the whole time that technically she was in labor, I was like, oh, God, dude, can this chick just sack it the fuck up, man?
Well,
because I'm like, we still got like 2 months to go. And I was like, you're still fucking bitching. Basically, she just ran out of room.
Well, when you have twins, you know.
Yeah.
Mine was just do you remember the movie The Blob?
The 80s remake?
Yeah.
Yes,
So Elena, I'm not saying like she was fat, because actually she'd gained just maybe 35, 40 pounds. But she ate like the Blob. Like everything we came in contact with was devoured.
Yeah.
And she, for those of you that don't know my wife, like she can put it away.
Yes.
Like
yes, she can.
She can put it away like a hot dog eating champion.
Somebody who weighs like 95 pounds, maybe.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean,
she do have skills.
Let me tell you. But like when she was pregnant, it was like a whole other thing, you know, because she was eating for her and the alien baby inside of her. So it's one of those things where, well, at least Chris's phone didn't go woohoo. So
it ain't Michael Jackson.
Whatever it is, Shaman. But yeah, man, like the amount of food, and we got complaining, but we got a whole other world of complaining. So it was like, I'm hungry. Like we ate an hour ago.
Like we were at the grocery store, and we got by the meat department, and she smelled raw meat, and now she needs to go throw up in the bathroom.
Oh, good Lord.
And I was kind of like, I don't understand why so many people get upset when I say this, but it's like, now you know what it's like when I have the flu. And like every pregnant woman gets all up in arms. I don't understand why. I'm like, hey, listen, man. Now you know what it's like for me.
The power of a man flu is
very powerful. It is. You're like, oh, you have 9 months. I've gone through 12 years of being sick, all compacted into this amount of time.
It's just the pain, the suffering, right? The suffering.
Yes. Oh, it's terrible.
It's like having the flu is like if you were to do leg day and arm day on the same day.
Yes, now I understand.
And then be forced to do cardio after the fact. Like you would be completely hosed, right?
Like, sack it up. I mean, there was a time where, they would drop a baby in the field and then they would just keep
get back to work,
squishing corn or whatever the fuck they were making, tortillas or bread and shit.
I can never stop thinking about this Ocean's 12 when he's like, when they're in the thing with Julia Roberts and he's like, the women in Vietnam will give birth in the rice paddies. Like every time, that's what I'm just like. Come on, baby. Remember Ocean's 12? They gave birth in the rice paddies. You know.
Yeah, fucking.
You can still work. Come on.
Spoiled American women. I'm sorry. You might want to edit that motherfucker out.
Hey, nobody listening. All right. Well, let's transition from one baby to another. So let's talk a little bit about the hit runaway of this last month, which has been The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian, dude. I've waited since I was a little boy for
this moment.
For a Star Wars TV show.
Well, and it's got everything you love, man. Lizard Man showed up.
Bounty hunters, scum.
The human or the droid, the vibrator bounty hunter was there.
Yes, and was badass.
He was actually.
You know what was fucking badass? He's like, fucking, you steal from me, motherfucker? I'll disintegrate your ass, dude.
Those Jawas.
Yeah, and then they were still like, hey, listen.
We'll trade.
We're still willing to work a deal. You disintegrated about half a dozen of our boys, but fuck, hey, they're kind of pains in the asses anyways. Okay.
So, I mean, I assume anybody at this point that's listening to the show has watched The Mandalorian.
Oh, Jesus Christ. If you haven't, I mean...
Even I've seen like 3 of the episodes.
You keep going to these Instagram chicks and going to their little, GoFundMe pages for $6 a jerk. Can you get on the Disney Plus for a minute?
Yeah, speaking of that, Chris, how do you not have the Disney Plus?
I told you I'm not doing that.
It's
shit.
$5.99.
Check it out.
$6.99.
And it's not even a sign-up fee.
No.
It's literally you're getting about 8 hours of fucking Star Wars content.
Right.
For $14. You can go ahead and cancel when the fucking show is done.
What's what I mean?
You can't even go to the movies for that.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Like, so I don't understand. You're like Mr.
I'm Popeye, dude. I've had all I can stands, and I can't stands no more.
It was funny because somebody had started listing off like Apple TV subscription and like all these other, but like there's nothing on those. Who's fucking ordering these? Not me.
Right.
I didn't even know I had Amazon Prime for over a fucking year.
Because there wasn't much on it.
Because I got it for fucking
shows.
shipping. I didn't know that I had TV too.
You're like, wait. My free shipping comes with television? This is fantastic.
The only reason that I got it was because of that.
Because you order a lot of stuff.
I do, You can order a lot of sex toys on Amazon. It's amazing.
And food. Like they'll deliver food, sex toys, build your own robot. It's like, it's fantastic. Fantastic, to say the least. But,
you're like, you got a ball gag and a bag of carrots. Wonder where the carrots are going.
Wait, what now? What are we?
I'm doing an ad for fucking Amazon. Too. One of our sponsors.
By the way, I'm calling that as a band name, Ball Gag and a Bag of Carrots. So.
That is a good band name, dude.
I would go see that band.
And then apparently they came out with a live action Lady and the Tramp. Nobody gave a fuck because who cares?
Well, I mean, at this point,
listen, they're a couple of dogs.
Pretty much.
I don't get it. I didn't get it then. But I'm like, it's the Mandalorian, so I don't give a fuck. I haven't looked at anything else. I don't even fuck care. I'm just here for the Mandalorian.
I hear there's a Jeff Goldblum show.
There is. We for us.
Yes.
He's still there. It's been on for 4 weeks, and the opening is still running because he's all welcome to the show with people doing.
Even though I have to say, like most people they never think of The Fly. He was so good in that. Oh, that movie was fucking amazing.
Was he though?
Yes.
Was he good
He's
in
fucking
it?
Brundlefly.
I get that.
That was great, dude. He's fucking picking off his fucking fingernails and shit.
I'm not saying the movie was bad.
He was also in Earth Girls Are Easy, so
Classic.
That definitely
Classic.
one cancels the other out.
Oh,
I don't know. Have you watched that recently?
No,
I have.
No,
like it wasn't on with the double feature of that and Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
It's pretty rough,
that's
dude.
a great movie too.
Well, okay.
The Chido brothers, man. Those are my
Okay.
guys, dude.
It's
Shout
pretty
out.
rough, dude. It's pretty rough. And a young Jim Carrey.
Oh, wow. Young Jim
his-
Carrey.
His first movie, I believe.
Is this before or after Jenny McCarthy?
You know what ruined it? There's a Wayans in that movie.
There's a Wayans in Earth Girls Are Easy?
Yeah. Who do you think the third alien is?
Damon Wayans.
Is it Damon
Yeah.
or Marlon?
But he's fucking
Damon.
funny.
Well, Damon's the one that's okay.
Damon was hilarious.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh, God, dude.
I like me some Damon Wayans. I could watch me Blank Man.
Blank Man is
Dude, in
like-
Living Color. Oh, my God. Can you imagine?
Major Pain.
Can you imagine him doing fucking Handyman in 2019?
That'd be great.
Holy fucking
Nope.
shit, dude. Or fucking Jim Carrey doing Fire Marshal Bell.
Let me show you something.
I'm a burn victim. And it's funny.
Well, he was a fireman that really got into too many fires, so.
Damn, dude. I'm sorry. I'm just laughing into the microphone tonight. Don't mind me.
Well, back to the Mandalorian. Where
Mandalorian, yes.
So what's everybody's first response to the show? So, Chris,
Amazing.
you're 3 episodes in. Steve,
I
you're
just keep coming back to that line
you're 4 and I'm 5. So
where Obi-Wan says it was like millions of voices cried out in agony and then were silent. And it's like, that's all of the Star Wars movies. And then this came out and everybody shut the fuck up because it's good. And nobody has anything negative to say about
You
it.
just don't have enough fucking Star Wars fans on your fucking
There are
feeds,
people talking
dude.
shit about the
People that don't
Mandalorian.
like this?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's stupid little.
Fuck those
detail
people,
shit.
dude.
Exactly. I mean,
That's just
I'm not gonna
dumb.
give them. I'm not gonna give them any fucking airtime with what they have said. But
Oh,
there
no.
are people who have.
I am legit curious. Can you
Seriously?
Because I haven't come across anyone that's had I think the closest to a complaint that I've had at this point is the 4th and 5th episodes felt very episodic.
There were guys who were
So-
still. I mean, the details are really stupid. It goes back to things that were in either comic books or regular books.
Oh, like deep cut shit.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
not really. There's not even any amusement to it. I mean, it's
like,
it's
so
fuck.
the-
It's
in
fuck,
the Mandalorian existence.
exactly. It's that exact kind of crap,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
You know, so you're like, yeah, whatever.
No, I mean, I think like for me, my only complaint is I hope the show doesn't turn into the A-Team, which is kind of what the last 2 episodes have felt like, where we show up somewhere,
do some good.
do some good, and
Move
then
on.
me and the baby fly to another planet, you know? So
He's like, looks like this planet's taken. I was like, what is your ex there? I mean, fuck the whole planet. You know what? Never mind. I understand. Trust me.
Don't you feel like in Star Wars, like it always trips me out when they're like, it's like, it's a whole planet, guys.
Can't find a cave anywhere.
Yeah, I'm
You know,
like-
Obi-Wan
It's a
fucking
whole.
found one. But all roads fucking go back to goddamn Tatooine. Don't
Well, that was
they?
the last one. Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, I saw the little clip of the speeder bikes.
that was dope.
Damn, dude, I need
Yeah.
to watch that
Okay.
one.
So I take that back. I have not watched all of the 5th episode.
But you
I've
watched part of it, yeah.
Part of it. I got to the part where they had captured said bounty.
Oh yeah, I mean,
But that was like I didn't get past that. So.
well. And the other thing is too is a lot of the marketing. Like I got the feeling like all these people were going to become part of like the show, and that is not like Ming-Na Wen is not coming back because she got iced. IG-88 knockoff droid got iced.
IG-11 is what he was, and boy, a little bit of trouble. You're fucking self-destruct.
Right?
These fucking things are useless as fuck, dude.
It's all I can't be captured, and it's all you haven't even been shot yet. Like
Right. Here, let me pop this thing on my fucking chest right now.
You're
It's
a
like,
droid,
fuck,
like-
man. Let's slow down, partner.
And I'm always curious. I'm like, well, what are they gonna? Whatever a bunch of mercs gonna do with pieces of a bounty hunter droid? You know, it's like. It's an assassin droid. Are you not the only one on the planet, right? Or in the universe? There are others, obviously.
Yeah, there were originally
At least 88 of them.
There were 3
You're
that
right.
Well, there were 3 that went renegade and fucking killed like the whole staff, and then took off the planet. And they were kind of like a Age of Ultron kind of thing, where they had gotten like a conscious type of thing.
They gained sentience, as we always.
There you go. Thank you.
Like someday my blender is gonna do and like take us all out, you know. Yeah. So
matter of time.
I still like that whole fucking hatred of droids. You know,
that's fun, dude.
I like that.
I mean, look, the thing I told Chris was I felt like the first 3 episodes had a nice arc. Mm-hmm. And then the last 2 episodes have felt very like Planet of the Week, you know, like it just was like. I watched Gunsmoke, I watched A-Team, I watched like these sort of like, there's not an overall narrative. We just sort of show up and do our thing and go on. Shows when I was growing up. And it really felt like that. And I'm okay if that's what it's going to be, but the first 3 episodes didn't have that.
Yeah, I think we'll
No, there was a narrative for sure.
Right.
I think we'll get back to that narrative. I think they're just trying to show some stuff. I think they're trying to appease some fans.
I mean, look, that 4th episode was cool. It was very I mean, it felt like Dragonheart or something.
Everybody
like
wanted
that.
to see an ATST because we hadn't seen them before.
Not-
it was, oh, man, we can't take that. Man, everybody the fucking Care Bears fucking kill those fucking things.
Right?
You're cool. Trust me.
Well, and I love how they're like, that thing will take out the whole village unless there's a hole. It's like,
so
I love ATSTs, but to me, I'm like, not the most well-designed piece of material.
The fucking Baby Yoda. That's one thing. Stop calling it the Baby Yoda. Well, listen, man. We don't know what else to fucking call it, dude, because they never
Baby Yoda,
established a fuck. It's a Yodla. How about that? Is that fucking better? What the fuck you want from us, man?
By the way,
a yodeler, like a toddler and a Yoda meet. It's a yodeler.
A
Get
yodeler?
the fuck
I like
out of
it.
here, dude.
I think if you say yodeler, though, that's
That's
like
the kind of crap. There was never any other Yodas but him.
Okay.
His species. They knew nothing of.
until the prequels, and then we got the Yaddle, like in episode 1.
Oh, the half a fucking thing over there. He is like a fucking.
It was a leftover puppet that they threw some long hair on, and we're all, that's a girl Yoda.
It was, it's funny, man.
I don't remember that.
Getting back to the, actually off subject. Rick Baker, one of my favorite makeup artists, Academy Award winner, pioneer of his time. He did a lot of the Cantina monsters from the first one,
Right.
and most of those were just extras he had in his fucking shop. They just
doesn't
threw that
surprise
shit
me.
together, man,
Yeah.
real quick. The werewolf looking thing, the devil looking guy. Now they're all like actual races in the story, but they were just things that he had.
Yeah.
I don't have a budget like always, and this is what I have on hand, and they fucking put it in the movie.
So Chris, how about you? What's your immediate take on The Mandalorian thus far?
I thought it was fun. I love that there isn't like tons and tons and tons of dialogue. I think like you nailed it when you said it's a Western.
Absolutely.
I don't know if 4 and 5 feel that way, but yeah, I mean, it definitely has that vibe. I mean, it's interesting seeing the religion of the Mandalorians. I think they're opening
Weapons
up kind
are
of
my religion.
right.
Damn, dude.
They're kind of opening Pandora's box with that. Because it's like, well, now we got to go back and look at Jango and Boba. And now we got to go look at this. And
Well, it's pre the purge, though.
And that too was where they're like, well, they took their helmets
the purge
off
has
and
already
those.
happened.
Right. But Jango's pre the purge, so.
But then they're like, well, was Django really a Mandalorian?
Yeah, I mean, I start seeing all that.
Whatever, Jesus Christ.
He was.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the movie.
Well, I mean, you're dealing with people that are like into their lore, like they're really into their lore.
Not into vagina by any stretch of the imagination, just into fucking make believe.
But into their lore. So, for me, it is a Western. It's a Western.
Yes.
It's a samurai film. It's
Yeah.
everything that George Lucas basically based the original Star Wars off of.
Yes.
Which to me, everyone's like, it feels like Star Wars. I go, well, to me, it all feels like Star Wars, but this really feels like the first movie. Like nothing has ever felt like the first movie again since the first movie came out.
Yeah.
But this one to me, it's like. Now that is up until realistically the last 2 episodes, and then it's felt like the A-Team, and I'm okay with that because it's Star Wars A-Team. Like you had me at hello, Jon Favreau, but
Right.
it was definitely like they were like, well, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna go to Mos Eisley, and apparently Boba Fett's coming back, which is all the rumor. because they showed his boots at the end of the last episode.
I know those boots, and I haven't got to the end of the last episode.
Well, sorry, spoiler alert, but we cannot confirm one way or another because it was a quick shot, and everyone's like, "It's Boba Fett."
And then there was a scene from the first episode where it looked like there was a fucking boba in the background. And
Right.
And they're always trying to get what,
Look,
I heard talk that they're doing a Boba Fett show.
I think they're gonna backdoor Boba Fett into this show.
Backdoor.
You think? Yeah.
Yeah, ball gagging carrots. So, but well, yeah. I mean, it's the Mandalorian. Like, you gotta have the I always thought the show was just gonna be about Boba Fett until they're like, no, it's not. And then now you can introduce him back into the show. I think why not? Why?
I mean, in the well, now not canon lore, but in the books, Boba did not die in the Sarlacc pit. In the books, he crawled his way out. He blew the thing up with a thermal detonator. It had dissolved most of his armor.
Right.
It was destroyed.
His Beskar.
And Dengar, the other bounty hunter, Bandage Man, found him on the outskirts of the pit, took him back, got him fixed up. So yeah, he lived, and they worked as a team of bounty hunters for quite some time in the books.
I tell you what I've been really pleasantly surprised by is one. This has been my biggest complaint with Star Wars since the prequels came out, which is it's nice to see some of the old character designs showing back up.
Yeah,
because
that's cool.
I don't mind like introducing new aliens, but I feel like every movie we get like a giant cadre of new aliens.
Well, I mean, they brought the Tusken Raiders back. Now there were some as a costume Tusken Raider. There were some differences with these Tusken Raiders that the general public would not know.
But time has passed.
Please tell me more. What's different?
Just like the sash going around the neck was something
Their faces
that was
looked
added.
thin to me.
The faces were a little bit thinner. But you got to remember too, like when they were making those things, I mean, in the first place, they were making them out of like machine parts from like airplanes.
Yeah.
Crap
like whatever
that.
they had, basically.
Yeah. So. Everybody loved. They were doing American Sign Language. That was real American Sign Language.
Oh, is that what they were? ASL?
Yeah.
Oh, nice, man.
So
that's cool.
And actually, the guy who was doing it was
deaf.
Yes. So
I have a lot of
these are the little facts
jokes,
that I find out. So, but yeah, I ever thought that was kind of cool.
That is cool. I agree.
So,
and I dug.
But even the droid in the fucking cantina, that was the droid that was in Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi. So it's cool to see that droid because
boy, how have times changed on Tatooine and Mos Eisley Cantina?
What was cool though is all those fucking stormtrooper heads on pikes out there.
I love that.
I was waiting for that.
Cool, man.
I just thought it was interesting. We walked into the bar that like 20 years before was like, we don't serve their kind here, and now the droids own the bar.
Right.
The droids are like, and we're moving on up.
But what was cool is that they used that droid. Like, quite frankly, in the Last Jedi when they're on the gambling planet, I hated that whole fucking scene. Nothing in there was even remotely resembled any Star Wars that I've ever seen before. The aliens, the droids, nothing. Nothing was familiar at all. And I like a little... It doesn't have to all be placating to my, nostalgia, but a little bit of something thrown in there. It just looked like CGI nightmare.
Sure.
It just looked like CGI crap. So,
well,
nothing in there.
A lack of... practical effects are great. Like, I'm when they're great. Like, when they work perfectly.
Yeah.
There are times when I'm like... not as in love with the practical effects, I think that K2SO from Rogue One is a good example of how you do something digitally that looks practical.
Yeah.
I will say that I did dig the Jabba's Palace Guard showing up in the, I just want it all to look good. That's all,
Yeah.
So I don't want, like the Ugnaughts little horse things that he's riding around. I thought those looked terrible. Like, it's this weird mixture of... It just looks like a shit with legs, and I'm not...
Yoda in episode 1.
Yeah, like the puppet in episode 1 is
awful.
goofy as all hell. So, but no, what this show... I once again, it feels like I'm watching Star Wars in a way that, quite honestly, I haven't felt since the first movie. It feels like a Western again, you know?
Sure.
And even Empire, as much as I love Empire, doesn't feel like the first Star Wars. Empire and Jedi feel like everything that came after it, where this feels small and interesting. And while I do have some minor, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm sorry, you know, it just, wait a minute, you know, why didn't, you know, we go to the Ugnaught and he has spoken, but why couldn't we just take speeder bikes out to wherever it was we were going to go pick up Baby Yoda? Why did we have to have the little...
They didn't have those available.
They didn't... Nowhere on the planet? I couldn't just fly the ship closer to that spot and land?
But that's what they had right there.
It's a whole planet. Like, there's not parking spaces. It's not like showing up at the Bed Bath Beyond and being like...
It was a good way to introduce him to Nick Nolte.
Well, sure, and then you ride the little thing, and it's all "We're the best around."
And what's cool is Nick Nolte. I can't remember their names of the race, but they're the little guys running around Cloud City on Bespin. They're the engineers and stuff. Yeah, you remember when they're throwing fucking C-3PO's head? He's of that race.
Oh, I didn't catch that. I thought he looked familiar, but I didn't.
So he's like a taller version of that. Of
a little
Ugnaught,
bit, but still, he's like, he's a little guy.
He's Ugnaught, yeah. And the voice, Nick Nolte's voice, is like. And my whole life,
I gotta be honest,
I never knew.
Catch it. I didn't catch it until after the first episode that it came across my feed. I was
it was immediate.
As soon as he opened his mouth, though, I was like, "That's how Ugnaught should sound, like Nick Nolte." Who knew? You know?
Yeah, I didn't get it at first. Yeah, so, but even what's her name? The chick on the ATST planet.
Gina Carano.
Yeah, she was in Deadpool.
Yeah, she was. She's a former MMA fighter. Yeah.
I didn't know who that was. There were people. That was one person they were talking shit about. I was like, okay, guys, I'm not seeing this. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
She's jacked, but she's not like a great actor. She looks great, and she does what she's like Batista, where you're like. You do what you do really well, and that's all I need you to do.
I don't know. You saw Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, he was great in that, but he didn't have no lines.
But it was just different. But I don't know. It wasn't a regular Batista.
Well, I mean, he did what he needed to do for that. Yeah,
it's replicant Batista.
He's like, life is tough.
He's very fucking.
I'm moody Batista.
Depth.
Yes,
he was very in depth.
I mean, look, dude, I watched wrestling for a long time, so I know what this is about.
But her, I don't know. She was bad. I thought she was okay. I thought she was better than what's her name from The Force Awakens.
Than Rey, or no? Than the tall one, Gwendolyn Christie.
No.
Yeah, you're talking
the Asian girl.
Oh, you're talking about
that everybody was attacking.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I thought she was a better actor than that. So,
dude, she was on The Daily Show, and she was cute as hell. Like, I don't know what they're doing to her in the Star Wars.
Well, they gave her a terrible haircut.
They really
they give her like the
dress her down
like
and
a bowl cut and like.
Oh no, she's cute, dude.
Yeah,
I was really surprised. Like, that's her.
They also put her in like a super padded jacket.
Yes, they did.
I want to punch my fist through this whole planet. Okay. Sure.
Top Gun acting, Steve. Top Gun acting.
Very good,
dude. Come on. Do we really have to look at Hayden Christensen's lines in any of those three movies?
He did not say Hayden Christensen was a good actor.
Fuck.
You can't necessarily put it on her, just like you can't put all of it on him. You know, they're just some bad lines.
I mean, like all around. Like I could give you probably 24 reasons as to why The Last Jedi was fucking terrible. That movie was a piece of shit.
Didn't bother me.
Guys. It was garbage, dude. It was fucking crap from almost the jump, dude.
I don't think we're doing a Last Jedi recap right now.
But you know what? Like, I have a great fucking plan to make a space bomber that goes slower than World War II bombers.
Yes.
I mean, that was
on Earth. Let's just start there. But anyways, back to The Mandalorian. But yeah, I can't say any bad thing about anything I've seen so far. It's been fucking great.
I mean, there's certain things where people are like, well, I don't know why they just didn't release this as a movie, and I'm like, well, it's not really. It feels like TV. There's a lot of padding in this as far as like story stuff goes.
I would just tell them like this. I'd say, well, they didn't release it as a movie because they wanted to release it as a fucking TV show. What the fuck, dude? Holy fucking shit.
I'm just saying, people,
You
man.
you know some dumb fucking people.
Well, we all do, Steve.
Well, that's fucking true, dude.
I mean,
I just had to purge some motherfuckers lately. I was like, I'm fucking done with you. You're a fucking half a tard.
Not a full one?
Not even a full one.
All right. Well, you know what? You never go full retard.
Never. But these guys are pushing the fucking limit, dude. You know. But yeah, you're just like, of course. I mean, just they're making a TV show, and if they make more, cool. But will they all be home runs?
No.
And I'm sure we could, after these 8 episodes flow through, we'll find that one or two that go, yeah, this one was not one of my favorites.
I think that
But
if this is
everything
an
to me is
indication
like
of
that.
what Disney Plus is going to be about, then I'm in.
Yeah.
Like, you at this point, if this is what you're doing for your original shows, then I'm really looking forward to the Marvel stuff. If it's going to have this kind of budget, you know, and be this kind of writing and be this sort of, because to me, like Favreau and Dave Filoni, like get the Star Wars universe, you know, and Kevin Feige gets the Marvel universe, you know. So if that's what you're doing, I'm in. My only issue is that if that's all you're doing, you're gonna have trouble because this can't be the Star Wars and Marvel streaming network forever. Like at a certain point, you got to do other stuff. You know,
I think they're not going to have any problem.
It's going to be like Hannah Montana. And
they already got that shit on there.
They've got so much fucking content under their belt, dude.
Well, what's really exciting for me is that the X-Men animated series has been on, and Ronald Andrew and I have been able to go back and rewatch the 90s X-Men, which
Damn.
He loves it.
You know,
loves it.
Man, didn't they fucking just draw Rogue's ass so fucking thick in that, dude? He had an amazing ass in that.
Rewatching this, and I'm all, this cartoon's a little adult for a kid's show. Like at one point, Wolverine and Jean Grey, Wolverine was being all thirsty for Jean, and I'm all, who is the target audience for this?
Yeah, I haven't watched any of that crap since the dawn of the internet when those guys were like fucking did that dub over.
Yes.
For the Juggernaut.
Oh my god.
Oh fuck. It's
been forever.
Yeah, I mean that was goddamn. I was laughing so hard. Because we used to watch that Saturday mornings after partying all night. We'd still be drunk, man. We just thought it was the coolest shit we'd ever seen.
I just, like, some of it, I'm like, oh, this is great. And then some of it, I'm like, so Wolverine left, and he went to go live with like, indigent people in Alaska. What is this episode about? Like,
how is that any different than the Wolverine
but it's like, I'm watching the cartoon, and I'm like, and then he's showing off for a bunch of Eskimos. I'm like, and he's making this one Eskimo feel bad about himself. I'm all, you're a mutant and he's fat. Like, what are you doing? Come on, Wolverine.
Think, I think that Disney, no matter if we call it the Walt Corporation or not, I mean, they do really listen to what people want. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, 22 Marvel movies, successful Marvel movies.
Right.
Every one of them were successful.
Did they own all of those though?
They didn't do the first. They didn't do Iron Man. The first Disney one was Iron Man 3. So they did Iron Man 3, or no, Avengers, and then Iron Man 3. So I don't think, because I'm pretty sure Paramount did Incredible Hulk, and then Universal had Iron Man 1 and 2.
But you know, they've learned, look at the success of the Marvel movies, and they said, man, we've got so much content here. It's like, you know, I was trying to tell somebody, I said, listen, because they're trying to figure out the timeline. People who are not into this are like, wait, when is this one taking place? You almost got to draw them a picture.
Pretty much.
Of where it is supposed to fall. And they said, oh, I don't understand. Why are they doing this? I said, because they don't spend that kind of money to make 3 movies and be done with it like Lucas was going to do.
Right.
Like, I'm done. When they're looking at it like, we spend this kind of money, man, we get this kind of content, and we can go anywhere, and we can go forever.
Right.
You know?
Well, and I think to me, it's once again, it's the thing that's exciting, which is we stop with the crutch of sort of the original 3 movies, and we can now tell some stories that don't involve Jedi, which I think is really exciting.
You know, I've been one of the first people to say that. I look forward to something other than Jedi, because after a while you're like, oh yeah, you're gonna kick his ass too. It's almost like Superman. Every comic book is like, oh yeah, you might get knocked around for a little bit, but then you're gonna come back
and you're gonna save the day, right?
Yeah. And then so are the Jedi. And oh my God, they were almost extinct.
But they're not.
They're not. And honestly, like, you really can't, because the Force works in mysterious ways.
Right.
and some random kid on a fucking planet in the middle of the desert, somewhere on the outer rim, all of a sudden starts becoming force sensitive. So you can't really get them all.
No.
You know?
Never.
So, you know, let's move on to other crap. You're always going to have your Supermans, and that's
for
fine.
sure.
But let's see some.
But let's see some dudes like having a shootout. You know, let's see some Moffs. Let's see some.
I want to see what somebody's like
hunters.
when they're really addicted to fucking death sticks.
There you go. I'm down with that. Like a whole episode of like
Like
Zit
an
and Rock Bottom.
intervention, a fucking space drug intervention show.
Bubba, or no, it's all Jabba. What do you have to say? And he's all, oh, not Chewbacca.
And even fucking what's his name, Carl
Weathers.
Yes, he's like, why don't you go get yourself a Twilight stripper? You know,
Dude,
It's like, why don't you go get laid?
Some of his line reads, I love. He's like, Mando, Mando, welcome, Mando. And I was like, oh, somebody is acting with an A.
I was really hoping that they were gonna fucking like grab arms and like try to fucking, you know.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, I was like, oh, come on, man.
Have you been keeping up with the new season of Rick and Morty?
No.
So they did.
I catch that show like here and there.
They did a whole episode in like the 3rd episode of the season, and it was the heist episode. And so literally they were going to HeistCon, Rick and Morty.
Okay.
And the guy that ran it, so they were going to do, they had a heist off at HeistCon with the guy running HeistCon. So he's like, well, we got to put together a team. And literally every person they came across, it was all, you son of a bitch.
Okay.
And the whole episode was literally, it devolved into what could only account for probably 30 double crosses and them constantly recruiting people. And so it'd be like, oh yeah, well, this is what I did. And it's like, Rick, you son of a bitch. It's like, hey, you son of a bitch.
I watch The Predator with the twins all the time.
Do you really?
To the point where I say, boys, when mom is around, we can't say, you son of a bitch. Okay, we can't do that. You're going to totally get me in trouble. And she's going to put the kibosh on us watching that movie, dude.
Well, I mean, you know, at least you're parenting right, you know?
Right.
There you go. Well,
which, mind you, and the kids absolutely love it. And like I've been saying for quite some time now, this isn't for us anymore.
No.
We're straggling, hanging on there for a little bit, but this is past us now, and it's for our kids and our grandchildren. That's who they're selling this to. So, and let me tell you, they're buying it up.
Absolutely, and then some. It's like nonstop, you know?
Yeah.
So, anyways, any final thoughts on what you've seen in Mandalorian so far?
No, I mean it's cool.
My final thought is as of right now, it's absolutely fucking perfect.
You think they're going to be able to stick the landing on this for the first season?
Yeah, I think so. I think
they've got this planned out.
I hope we don't fuck it up like we have with other shows that have proven to be successful, and keep them going for too long. Let's get a few seasons into it and then be done with it, and let's move on to some new content.
Well, you know,
something.
it's to me, it's what they did right with the Rebels. Like the Rebels animated, which was 4 seasons and then it was done, you know? And I feel like the Clone Wars, even though they're bringing it back for the final 12 that they're going to do.
Yeah.
It was like, I think they were done. Like by the time you hit about season 5 or 6, I'm like, I think we've done it. You should wrap this up, you know?
Well, it was getting to Revenge of the Sith anyway. So cool.
You're right.
And it's like, okay, listen, let's end the series. Doesn't mean we need to kill the characters off.
Right.
We could bring them here and there. All of a sudden, you know, it'd be like fucking watching Scooby-Doo. And all of a sudden, like, oh my God, dude, it's Don Knotts. Right? And we're like, oh my God, dude, it's the fucking Mandalorian.
It's the Harlem Globetrotters.
I was kind of hoping we were going to get a different name for the guy other than Mando.
He's got a name.
What is it?
But here's the thing. It's one of those perfect Star Wars things where nobody has said it anywhere, but he's got a name. It's like Jin.
I think it's fucking Robert Paulson's.
You think so?
And his name.
A little Fight Club reference
there.
there.
I mean, because I was listening, I was like, maybe I didn't catch that or something. But, you know, Carl Weathers just keeps, Mando!
Mandalorian!
Yes.
They all wish they were you.
It's like freaking Ren Fair going on in there.
Yeah, fuck.
So his name is Din, D-Y-N, Djarin, Jarren. Din Djarin.
Din Djarin.
which nobody has uttered those words on the show.
Din Djarin.
This is the way. That's why.
This is the way.
No, Carl Weathers reads are like my new favorite thing. It's like the only thing better than Peter Dinklage in Infinity War when he's like, Thor,
Yeah.
I made you an axe.
Well, I'm also I am wondering, does everybody have something implanted in their asshole that these guys are able to track them down?
This is, if I have one complaint, that is my complaint.
I'm like, Ron, listen, man, every time I go somewhere, someone's trying to fucking shoot me. I need you to check my ass.
But it kind of makes bounty hunting not as cool if all I got to do is get my beeping light and I'm all beep, 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 beep.
Amen.
I mean, why even run? You're like, I got something stuck so far up my asshole.
My favorite is,
I can't get it out. These guys just keep coming.
you guys haven't seen it at all yet, but the Tatooine episode, the guy that's like trying to be a bounty hunter for the first time. So we've all seen the little box. The box is literally a box with like a little antenna and it has a red light that beeps and it goes beep, beep, beep. And he like shows it and he takes it and he crushes it and he tells the Mandalorian, don't worry, I memorized it. And I'm like, what information on the beeping red light did you memorize?
I have to admit, I was kind of thinking the same thing.
I was like,
what the fuck? Is your dick going to get hard as the closer you get to the target now? I mean, is it, you know.
It just sort of like beep, beep, beep.
Those are fobs and then there's pucks.
Sure.
Right? So I'm trying to get this whole bounty hunter thing.
So,
down.
but I don't understand. Does everybody have a fob?
Everybody's got something to put in their asshole.
So are we just?
Seems legit.
I mean, it's the future, right? Ball gag and carrots. So.
Actually, it's a long time.
It's like in Traveler's Guide to Outer Space. What was that fucking movie?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Hitchhiker's Guide, where they had to put the fucking worm thing in their fucking ear to translate other people's races. Everybody gets a worm thing up their asshole. It's like they get
The
lost.
Traveler's Guide to Outer Space.
That's
the low rent version that came out on.
Everybody's got to find my fucking iPhone app in their ass, dude. I can't get it out.
Steve has only watched the porn version.
The Traveler's Guide to Outer Space.
I watched it. It was really weird. Everybody got something shoved up their ass.
Dude, I have this. Somebody sent me this fucking picture of fucking this porn chick dressed like fucking Daisy. What's her? Daisy Riley. Ridley. When they got her strapped to the table, so she's all. Never mind. You can see where it's going. It's very pornographic.
I can only guess.
I kept that picture.
Oh, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
Oh wow!
Absolutely.
Put that in my spank bank for later.
By the way, on another Star Wars related note, so the new ride is coming out.
Yes.
At Disneyland next month, and it's open at Disney World right now.
I sure as shit hope it's better than the last one.
Well, it's. I mean, you can go online and basically watch the ride because Disney want people like Chris who are not excited to get excited about it. And
can you see him
I was so in, dude.
Can you see him just sitting there watching on his monitor, and he's just like moving, like oh, I don't have to go there. Well, look, I can do this. I can do this from home.
You know how I don't do the Star Tours.
Right.
Shit makes me sick. And a lot of people get that.
My wife totally does.
Yeah.
Jennifer totally does.
I knew that's what this was, and I went on anyway because I was excited to see what it was all about.
It was cool, man.
It was fucking Star Tours with a button on the side. Just keep pushing the fucking button.
But you were the gunner or the engineer?
Oh, no, I was the gunner. What a fucking disappointment that is. Like, I should be like shooting shit. I can get that at fucking Knott's with the Undersea Adventure. If I want to like get sick pushing a button, like shooting, what a missed opportunity. Like how cool could that have been?
Yeah, but they got to make it accessible for everybody.
So give me some triggers or something.
Once again, I mean, for me, I want to have the chair with the like low rent HUD. You know, but they don't, it's not available. It's not an option. So.
No, but I get that. We can't do that. But you can't put a little arm with some fucking buttons on the back of the seat?
We've got an embarrassment of riches right now. Like, where you're complaining about a ride that you get to sit in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon.
No, dude.
It's
the
not
ride's
cool
bullshit.
enough for you.
The ride's bullshit.
No,
I was not
blast,
into it.
dude.
I have not been yet. My plan is to go next year.
How's this? I will say this. Like the new Star Tours. Have you been on the new Star Tours since they redid it?
Yes.
To me, it all looks like a video game.
Yes.
Yeah.
The original Star Tours worked for me because of the practical effects. And my mind from 1985 went, this is real. I totally buy into this. The new
Really?
ones. Well, even then it was cheesy. I get it.
Okay.
But no. In a way that when I watch the new one, all I see is CGI. I don't see like actual space. Yeah. So at a certain point, I've just let go of the idea. I'm like the original one when we were flying through crappy asteroids and everything, and we had the low rent X-wing pilots. Like I was okay with that. This one, like the one, it just looks like CGI. I'm like, we're flying CGI. I'm fine. It's a video game. It's cool. I get it. You know. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I was really let down.
But this new ride, I'm telling you, man, it's got like interactive shit. Like the queue is interactive. Like you get in, you basically are supposed to be like they do sort of like a holding area, like they did for the Haunted Mansion or like where you come in and there's like it's a story and you're like, well, we're evacuating the base, like we're under attack. You go into like the Resistance headquarters and then they take you out in groups into a shuttle and you get in the shuttle. Okay, and then the shuttle, it's like it has like Admiral Akbar and Ian Nub character types, and
is it a trap?
Well, here's the thing: like your shuttle gets shot down and then taken into a tractor beam. So you get on the shuttle, it's got movement in the shuttle, and then when you get off the shuttle, you literally walk out into the hangar of a Star Destroyer. So you enter a room, and basically the way
it's moving the shuttle.
It goes on an elevator, and then you end up, but it feels like you're flying.
Oh, wow.
And you end up in the hangar of a Star Destroyer.
That's pretty cool.
And then you get processed in the Star Destroyer, which is the next part of the line.
Oh.
So you do a part of the ride, and then there's actors that are like, "Hey, let's go." And then you basically it's like the Harry Potter ride has elements like this in the queue, and then you see
where the setup is better than the ride.
Yeah, where Kylo Ren comes out but then it's like you got to escape, and now there's like this is like the really high moving portion of the ride where now we're driving through the Star Destroyer and there's fucking laser beams and stuff everywhere. Like it looks pretty legit, dude. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited for it, because the Harry Potter ride's a blast too. So with a mixture of screens and I think people are up in their dark ride game. How's that? So
yeah, I mean again, I'll go on it, even if it makes me want to puke.
Well, you gotta
because I want to see.
You have to step it up these days. I mean, you can't have. You can't make motherfucking Pinocchio anymore. Those days are fucking
oh my
over.
God.
No.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
When's the last time you went on what's the crazy Mr. Toad?
It's been a while. The Wind in the Willows ride?
It's been a few years.
Yeah.
Do you realize on this ride you die
you
go to hell?
Yes, I remember that.
And then the doors open and it's over. That's how the story ends.
Great,
Pinocchio's kind of the same way.
Oh, no. The Snow White ride. Because they're redoing it apparently because the end, we did that just recently. Basically the whole ride, the concept is you're Snow White on the ride.
Right.
And the end of it is the witch basically dropping a fucking rock on top of you. And then magically and they all lived out.
Right.
Well, like, in the cartoon, that rock attempt fails and that's how she gets killed. So you're kind of supposed to already know the movie.
But in the ride, if you've never seen Snow White, you're like driving along and you're like, and I drop a rock on you. And then it's like, it opens up and it's all, and we all lived happily ever after. And I looked at my wife, I was like, I feel like part of the movie is missing. Like, I feel like I fell asleep and then I woke up and it's the credits and I don't know what happened at the end.
Well, it's kind of like how those movies ended back then too. So.
Right.
And we're done.
And now you can go.
And roll.
So, yeah, that Mr. Toad kind of...
It's been quite a while.
It's dark.
It's been quite a while.
It's pretty fucking... Pinocchio's the same way. He never becomes a boy.
I think there was one time I went to Disneyland and it was so fucking crowded. We literally were able to go on Indiana Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Haunted Mansion. I think we did Space Mountain.
Well, that's a lot of rides,
and
dude.
Splash Mountain. That was it.
By today's standards, that's pretty good. I
remember going back there and hitting every ride when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah. Those days are gone.
Well, and now they had the Fast Pass, but now you can go ahead and upgrade. You can spend money and get them all. When we took the boys for the 5th birthday, I was the first time I looked at that place like a dad.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, every fucking thing here now is to take more of my money.
Absolutely.
Even taking photos in front of those spots was through them I was.
It's weird when you grow up one day and you look at it and you're like, but my money, I want my money, and I don't want to give it to you, no matter how magical this is.
Well, I mean, one time I heard somebody describe Disneyland like this. They said it is absolutely brilliant that they are charging you a premium to go into retail.
Yeah.
It's got a few rides.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But they're selling you food and they're selling you trinkets and you name it. Trinkets can be small to big, but everything in there, you're paying to go into a mall.
Absolutely.
At this point, hell
and
yeah.
It is the most. And it's not only that; it's the most well-produced mall you've ever been in.
Absolutely.
We because I wanted to take the boy to Star Wars Land, so we did the Southern California passes. Because I got there and one day was $125, and I'm like, oh my god, that's like not that like we couldn't afford it, but I was just like, okay, well, for $25 more, I can have a pass. And then for $20 a month after that, we'll go back multiple times. And then I don't got to feel like I got to do the whole thing in one day.
We've been pass holders before. There were times we would literally, because for those who are listening who are outside of Southern California, we are based out of Riverside, California, and Disneyland is in Anaheim, California. And it's only about
35, 40 minutes with traffic. Good. So,
well,
I should drive electric, so the fast track is free.
I've literally gotten locked into the freeway. How many miles do you think it is between us?
35, 38,
38 fucking miles, and just stopped fucking traffic.
Right.
Like to the point where I said, you know what, fuck it, we're going back home.
Right.
You know, it's actually happened a few times. I said, we ain't fucking getting to OC tonight. You know, there are times where I was like, what am I spending this money for?
I feel you.
I
mean, we got it. And like I said, we'll do it for this year because we've rotated the passes. Like, we're not doing the same pass every year to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
But he's at that perfect age. The Star Wars Land is new.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, it'll only be new once. They're never going to do another Star Wars Land, you know?
Dude, my kid does not like Disneyland.
Really?
She don't like any amusement parks. But she never got the Disneyland.
Really?
I think it was our fault because we took her when she was too young and put her on Space Mountain.
It scared the shit out of her.
Yeah, she was catatonic for like a good 10 minutes. Like, we have photos of it. You can see the terror in her eyes 10 minutes later. I think we kind of ruined her. So, yeah, it's like she's Captain Buzzkill whenever we go there.
Yeah.
Like, I hate taking her.
But we took Ron Landry to California Adventure for the first time with the passes since he was 3. So we did Cars Land. He got all excited about that, but we took him on the roller coaster, and I expected him to be like how he always been. He was like emotionless. He like went upside down. And he just was like, no
shit.
And we got off, and I go, how was that? And he goes, yeah, it was fun. And I'm like,
wow,
what? And he goes, no, I liked it. Let's go again. And I'm like, now meanwhile, we go to the little Country Bear outdoor running area with the fucking kid goes on the tire swing for a half an hour. Laughing, having a great time. It's a fucking tire. Like,
you spent a lot of fucking money from the fucking.
That's the cat and the kid with the box.
So Elena and I we love water rides, but we love the joy of trying to do a water ride in the middle of winter because there's something dangerous about it because you're like, it's really cold. And if I get wet, I'm gonna also be really cold. So we went on the Big Bear Rapids thing that they have there.
Yeah, I got soaked on that fucking ride, dude.
So what we did is we get on. Obviously, there's nobody else on the ride. It's just us. So the three of us sat at different corners playing Russian roulette.
It's to see who fucking
to see who gets soaked.
Well, I picked the wrong seat. The one time I did that ride, I was fucking soaked, man. My socks were soaked. I was like, fuck, now I gotta walk in Disneyland in wet fucking socks, dude. Kill me fucking now.
We got on the ride, Steve. I took my shoes and socks off because I know better. And then what was funny about it was I'm sitting there and I go, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. It's California. It's like 59. It's not cold. Ron Andrews in pants and a t-shirt, and she's in like a burqa because she's weighs 95 pounds and is freezing.
You mean a parka or a burqa?
Well, like literally like full face cover.
Really?
Yes, because she's freezing cold.
Of course.
You didn't know that. That Ron requires her to wear that. Now.
I do. How dare you show your beautifulness?
Yeah, right. Gotta hide it from all these men.
So this woman wearing head to toe clothing gets nary a drop of water on her. only my crotch area is soaking wet. Like my
Awesome.
pants. The boy, head to toe drenched.
So,
He got off the ride. It was all, you want to go again? And he goes, I'm so cold.
did you have to go buy new clothes from the fucking?
We just had clothes in the car. We were
Oh,
heading
okay.
out. But I bribed him.
Because see, they're hoping on that. Because have you the fucking raincoats they sell you with the fucking?
The ponchos are like $8.
Oh, I thought they were more like 20.
Oh, no.
Oh,
They're like
okay.
plastic ponchos for
Yeah.
$8. I'm like, why would I pay you? And then they're like, you could just recycle them here. I'm all, yeah, so y'all can reuse them. I know
Right.
how this is.
Thanks.
So we bribed him, though, to get him to go on the ride because he was like, well, I want dessert. And we're like, well, there's no dessert tonight, buddy. Like, we had dinner. And I go, I'll tell you what, I will share ice cream with you if you go on the ride.
Can you imagine?
Wait. We got to back up. You went to Disneyland and did not let your kid have a dessert.
We have passes. Like, we're not getting dessert every
It doesn't
time we go
matter.
there.
That's the whole point of going.
No.
It's getting a little churro or a Mickey sandwich.
Frozen banana.
Dude, well, I'm not into the frozen banana.
Yeah, one time I had a frozen banana on fucking Matterhorn, man, and I hucked it at that fucking abominable snowman and hit him right in the fucking head. Oh, God, I was the fucking hero of the fucking 6th grade. My claim to fame.
That's when they was all janky and it was
Yeah, it
all,
was
"Roar."
fucking popped out of the corner. Oh, bitch! Have my banana.
No, man. I mean, and no, like he cannot have ice cream and a dessert every time we go. Like,
Oh, yes. That's the whole point of going.
no, the rides are the whole point of
Nah, the rides are nothing.
going. I mean, how you feel about the dessert is how our family feels about the sourdough bread.
Oh, I'm with you on that,
We
though.
go to California Adventure and we buy one of them big ass sourdough breads and we get like 55 pads of butter and we sit there and eat the whole thing.
That's funny.
And it's just like it's so good. And we just sit there, we have a beer, and it's just like he's like, "Can we go on rides?" I'm like, "We're eating bread. Go away."
Give me my Bogart, my loaf. That's my loaf.
So, but I bribed him with ice cream, and so this poor kid on the tram back is like shuddering cold and eating ice cream happily. So, all right, well, let's wrap this one up right there. I hope you guys have enjoyed us being back.
We're gonna make an attempt to fucking do some more.
Well, I'll tell you
Damn
what.
it.
We'll definitely have one before Christmas because we got to talk about Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, that opens
That's a
the
tradition.
20th.
That opens next Thursday. So
Okay.
we got to figure out a way for everyone to see it, and then we will podcast before.
We'll
Christmas.
tell our wives on Christmas Eve, ladies. We're recording. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to.
They'll wait.
They'll be like, "The fuck you are, yo."
These kids are pretty much old enough.
Oh, hey, careful. He might be able to hear us through the walls. So. All right, guys. Well, once again, we hope you guys have enjoyed the show. I am Din Djarin.
Wow.
I couldn't pull his name out.
Oh, am I next? I
Yeah.
can't remember what the order is. All right. I am the stupid button that you push just without any sense of doing anything on this stupid fucking Star Wars ride.
Playout has a limited time on it. You want?
I'm just saying, there was no point. It wasn't even like shooting anything.
I am the Mandalorian's cool catchphrases.
That's right. That's right. And I have spoken. I hope you guys are having a Nerdlife Crisis. Music for the Nerdlife Crisis podcast is provided by Big Papa and the TCB. All music available at bptcb.com or at iTunes. The Nerdlife Crisis is recorded at the Inland Blue Studios. Make sure to subscribe to the Nerdlife Crisis at iTunes and like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Nerdlife Crisis.